Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 abandoned places to explore in Maryland. Now before I go any further, there are hundreds of abandoned places to explore in Maryland. In today's video, I'm only going to be going over 10. So if you would like to know more, then make sure you like and subscribe. Within this list, we're going to start off easy and we're going to get into the more secret locations as the list goes on. And for legal purposes, I do not recommend going to any of these locations. Trespassing is a crime and you can be punished to the full extent of the law. Forest Haven Asylum in Laurel, Maryland. Forest Haven Asylum opened in 1925. It was a haven for those in need, surrounded by a lush forest. And for a while, everything worked. But soon the facility would become more of a madhouse. A decade later, Forest Haven was no longer a utopian society. It got to the point where people who were not mentally challenged were being put into the asylum, like people who had blindness, deafness, and epilepsy. And as the asylum became understaffed, abuse began rippling through the system. The staff became very frustrated, and sometimes this would lead them to beat their patients. Abuse claims eventually became deaths, and an untold number of patients died at Forest Haven. Records say that hundreds of people have potentially died at Forest Haven. Now, I've been there multiple times. It's a crazy place. There's a bunch of insane buildings. There's a church, all types of crazy stuff. There's also security, so you just have to make sure that you don't get caught. Glendale Hospital in Glendale, Maryland. Glendale was a tuberculosis sanatorium consisting of 23 buildings and 216 acres. It was built in 1934 and closed down in 1981 due to asbestos. Glendale was used when tuberculosis was around, but once they came out with the vaccine, that's when they really had no use for it anymore. Now, there are many buildings on this campus. Many of the buildings are connected to these underground tunnels. I couldn't find any pictures of them. I've never seen them myself, but there are tons of reports of people that happened to them, and apparently it's pretty crazy. National Park Seminary in Silver Spring, Maryland. The development dates back to 1887 when Ye Forest Inn was built as a tourist resort. In 1894, the buildings were turned into a girls' boarding school called the National Park Seminary. During World War II, the Army took over the campus and used it for recovering amputees. By the 1970s, the place was in a state of decay, and by 1978, all the patients were gone. As of recently, most of the buildings have been repurposed and redeveloped. Only a few of the abandoned buildings still remain. Now, I've been here before. It's pretty cool. It looks like castles. It looks like these old ancient castles, and it looks pretty crazy. Definitely recommend checking this place out. Old Town Mall in Baltimore, Maryland. The Old Town Mall is an abandoned outdoor pedestrian shopping mall in the Old Town neighborhood of Baltimore. The mall contains 64 stores, majority of which are closed. The area has seen many periods of revival and decline in the past 200 years since its opening. In 2015, 2 men were shot in the afternoon hours at the mall. Later, police arrested 2 men in connection with the shootings. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's Baltimore for you, yo. That's why I don't go there. I actually did go here once. I left right away. I didn't want to be around. I mean, y'all can go there if you want. I know it's not illegal, but you might get shot. It's up to you. Rosewood Asylum in Owings Mills, Maryland. It was established in 1888 as the asylum and training school for the feeble-minded. From 1912 to 1961, it was known as the Rosewood State Training School. In 1961, the facility was renamed as the Rosewood State Hospital. After the state departments of health and mental hygiene merged in 1969, the facility was renamed the Rosewood Center. On January 15, 2008, the state of Maryland announced that Rosewood would be closed in the near future. It finally closed on June 30th, 2009. I know they were supposed to demolish this place, so if you did want to go, you would probably have to go pretty soon. I did go here before. The security guards, I just bribed them. They were really stupid. They were driving me and my friend in the back of their pickup truck, and they were just like breaking everything. It was crazy. That's the same stuff as my dog does. These things are... Alright, number 6 is where the video is going to get more juicy. The secret spots are coming in. Abandoned drug dealer's mansion in Clarksville, Maryland. Now, this is one of those places that I found myself. I don't have too much history on the place. It's a very interesting looking place. That's why I just called it drug dealer's mansion. Let's just say the first time I ever found this place, as I walked around it, I found some very interesting things. That's why I called it the drug dealer mansion. Now, I'll put the address right here, but I do know that this house was going to be redeveloped very soon. I don't know if it's still necessarily abandoned right now. So if you did want to go check this house out, be very careful. Do not trespass. If it looks anything different than the pictures that I put up on the screen, then just don't even get close to it. Frederick Town Mall. The mall opened in 1972 on US Route 40 along the Golden Mile. It was closed in April 2013, except for 2 of the anchor stores. In 2019, the mall would be renamed District 40 and would become an entertainment center with a movie theater and a possible trampoline park, video arcade, go-karts, and a bowling alley. Now, this place is going under renovation as well. However, I was in there somewhat recently, and they didn't start renovation yet. They possibly have started renovation by the time I'm posting this video. So if you ever do plan on going here, I recommend checking out soon. At least see what's going on there, see if they're renovating it currently, if it's still looking abandoned or what. Walter Reed Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. I'm giving this as a bonus because I think this place might be demolished, but Still pretty cool if you never knew about it. This is basically just a massive medical center for the military. And when abandoned, they moved all the patients to a new building. From what I understand, I think they've destroyed this place. Abandoned mansion in Potomac Heights, Maryland. This mansion was once owned by Dr. Shrine, a corrupt, phony preacher who used a Waldorf-based ministry for drug and alcohol abusers called Save the Seed. After being convicted of a ton of illegal crimes, he was sentenced to 27 years and the government repossessed all of his belongings. Later in 2012, to cover up any evidence, the $1.75 million house was torched and burnt to the ground. This place has a pretty insane story. I went there a while back and you could still walk through the house even though it had caught on fire. This house is on the water and there's a backyard pool that's pretty massive. You can tell that it was a crazy mansion before. Sojourner Douglas College in Baltimore, Maryland. This college was a private college organized around an Afrocentric focus of study and located in Baltimore, Maryland. The college was founded in 1972 and focused on educating mature students. The college's accreditation was revoked by the Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools effective June 30th, 2015, and the college has remained closed ever since. So basically, this is a really big medical college in Baltimore. I've driven past this place. I've never gone inside because I don't like exploring places in Baltimore. I know there's tons of stuff inside. There's a massive theater. There's like these bloody mannequins everywhere. I also know there's a meth lab upstairs. So if you want to go, you can go, but I'm not going there anytime soon. Art Collector's Mansion in Bethesda, Maryland. This is one of my favorite places that I've ever explored. There's not too much information about this place online. However, from what I found is that the owner of this mansion was an art collector, and the art collector was friends with Hillary Clinton, which is pretty crazy. From what I understand, this house went abandoned at the time, right near when Hillary Clinton was recently running for presidency. I have some before and after photos. This house features an indoor pool, an outdoor pool, a tennis court, 3 stories, a massive staircase, a massive library, wine cellar. It's just a crazy, massive abandoned mansion in a super nice part of Maryland. Now, from what I understand, I know they were going to renovate this property and turn it into an old person's home. I don't know if they have begun that yet, so if you do want to check this out, I recommend checking it out very soon. Definitely one of my favorite places I've ever explored. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video is way different than normal. I have a completely different channel for my old type of videos. If you guys like to check out that, it's gonna be the first link in the description. And if this video does good, then I'm gonna keep posting videos like this on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe for part 2.